HEREITFIRST.com, and today we'll be looking at level 2. I usually do videos at night, but to get a good look at level 2, you must be active from 9:30 to 4 Eastern Standard Time, or level 2 gets really wacky for penny stocks. Like, for example, level 2 for tongue last night was 0.0011 on the bid and 0.03 on the ask. So this is eTrade Pro. To pull this up, you just go to Tools and click on Market Depth. So the main reason why level 2 is so important in penny stocks is because there isn't always liquidity. So you want to see the spreads, the market makers on the ask, the malicious market makers, the diluters, and where they are placed, because it will have a huge impact on the stock. The first thing I look at when I look at level 2 is the bid. So if you want to buy the stock, you slap the ask. But if you want to sell the stock, you have to sell on the bid. So think of it as the bid as ADTF. This guy is bidding 100,000 shares at 11. This guy is bidding 500,000 shares at 11. This guy over here is selling 1.8 million shares at 12. This guy is selling 200,000 shares at 12. So if you want to buy it right away, you just slap the ask, put an order at 12. If you want to sell it right away, you put a sell order at 11. Next thing you look at, the sizes of the ask and the bid. So usually if it's a thin stock, the size will be relatively small. So right now, I'll show you what a thin stock. So a thin stock would be ONCI. 10,000 shares at 7, and then 300,000 shares at 9, and then 10,000 shares at 35. VNDM is a malicious market maker, but we will get to that in another video. Thin stocks usually have wide spreads because the market makers have to place them out. Let's go back to TUNG. Oh, and by the way, I am currently in TUNG at 11 and H cup at 11. Next thing you look at, how many market makers are on the bid. So let's say this comes out to 6, 12, 16, 7, 16 million. This comes out to 16 million on the bid. 160,000 on the bid, which is 1.6 million. So one market maker can place 1.6 million on the bid, but it's better if there's multiple market makers, because if it's one market maker, it could be one buyer. But since it's multiple market makers, it's showing multiple buyers, even though the size is relatively small. So I would rather have a stock with like 5, 6 market makers on the bid than like one, even if the sizes were the same. So let's take a look at another stock. Let's see. Let's look at SLIO. You see, this is one market maker, which means it's only showing one buyer at 900, at 0.009, 500,000 shares. I would rather see 3 market makers at 9, even if they were bidding less shares. Let's say they were each bidding 100K. It just looks better for someone getting in the stock. Now, the reason why I like H cup and TUNG, if you follow me on Profitly, you will know that I trade tongue constantly. So malicious market makers are in this level 2 are VNDM, BKMM, and BMAC. So when you see these market makers on the ask, so let's say BKMM was at 12, people usually start selling because when a diluter's on the ask, that means it's diluting. But when you see a malicious market maker on the bid, that's a bullish sign because that means that they're bid supporting the stock, also known as holding it down. Same thing goes for H cup. Puma, VNDM, LAFC are all malicious market makers. ETRF is usually a retail. And so when I look at that, I see bottom at 10. Not to mention this 3 mil bid over here. BKRT is also a malicious market maker. ADTF is the retail. Knight is also a retail, but it could also be a shorter if it's on the ask. So what do I see when I look at H cup? I see 1.8 million seller, 1.5, 2.1. So basically right now I see around like 5 million on the ask, roughly. This is what concerns me right here, BKRT at 13. But since I got in at 11, I'm not too worried right now because I can easily sell right away and cut my losses for a commission loss, of course. Puma at 25, BKMM. It's always good to remember where the malicious market makers are. So, like I said, Maximism Diluter, LAFC, VNDM, BMAC, BKMM, Puma, BKRTs. So basically, this level 2 looks pretty decent, except for this market maker right here. So if you're trading H cup, I would watch the bid for sure. If the bid's from 0.001 and move down, it's definitely a bearish sign, and I would recommend you to cut your losses right away. So that's all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps you trade. I'll see you later.